People often call those who can't hide their true feelings honest. But Baltasar Gracián says, honesty is vulnerability. The moment your emotions become easy to read, the other person is already preparing to control you. Concealing your innermost thoughts is the greatest weapon. People always try to read someone's mind through their facial expressions, tone of voice, and actions. However, true wisdom lies in not revealing your inner thoughts so easily. If others can effortlessly read your emotions, you are no longer a mystery. The moment you become predictable, people can manipulate you with ease. Control the emotions you show on the surface. When playing cards, anyone who lays down their hand for all to see will soon lose all their money. The same applies to human relationships. The instant you expose what you want or how you feel, the other person is ready to take advantage of it. A little silence creates an air of mystery. People tend to dismiss what they already understand as insignificant and regard what they cannot understand as great. Exotic things cost more than the familiar, and the unknown is often overvalued. Likewise, when people sense a certain mystique about you, they hold you in higher esteem. Therefore, if you want a good reputation, do not over-explain yourself. Say only as much as gives them the chance to criticize you. Use the other person's desires to your advantage. People quickly lose interest in what they already possess, but become more obsessed with what they cannot have. The harder something is to obtain, the stronger the desire grows. The more someone wants something, the easier it is to control them. A clever person makes sure the other party cannot obtain what they want so easily, intensifying that desire. In the end, they move according to your intention without even realizing it. Take your time when turning someone down. It is foolish to agree to a request right away. Just as something earned after a long wait feels more valuable, a careful decision carries greater weight. On the other hand, do not refuse immediately either. As time passes, the other person's expectations naturally diminish, making it easier for them to accept rejection. If you truly have no choice but to refuse, give the other person time to shift their focus elsewhere. Rejecting hastily will only provoke unnecessary conflict. Do not argue back too quickly. When someone opposes your opinion, do not confront them right away. First, discern whether their opposition is simple stubbornness or a scheme to gauge your intentions. If it is the latter, you must not respond carelessly. They will try to find clues in your reaction. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful defense. Never beg for praise. Exaggerating your achievements or flattering others just to gain recognition only invites ridicule. Genuine results are recognized naturally by those around you, and proving yourself through action leaves a stronger impression than embellishing yourself. Instead of trying to appear like a hero, strive to become one. Do not take on unnecessary tasks. Time is our most precious resource, yet many people waste it on things that do not matter. Especially those who, driven by the need for approval or an inability to say no, take on various tasks, end up acting unwisely. They can no longer focus on their main responsibilities and become swept up by others' expectations. Invest your time only in pursuits that truly matter. Do not speak about someone else's secret, and do not mention yours either. Just because someone confided their secret in you does not mean they truly trust you. One day, they may decide to rid themselves of that burden by removing you from the equation. History is full of those who knew a ruler's secrets and were toppled in an instant. Do not take unnecessary risks. Learn from your competitors. Learn how to use the hatred your enemies feel toward you. Hatred often comes with a sharp sense of criticism. Those who dislike you will spot your weaknesses more keenly than anyone else. Do not dismiss their criticism as mere attacks. Use it as a chance to address your shortcomings. Meanwhile, the words of flatterers hide your flaws and lure you into complacency. Ultimately, it is criticism, not flattery, that helps you grow. Master your tongue. Words are like a sword used incorrectly. They hurt you in the end. A wise person discerns another's thoughts and emotions by listening, while a foolish person exposes their own mind recklessly. Do not say anything unnecessary. A person of few words appears cautious and is not easily rid, whereas a talkative person is bound to make mistakes. Never love forever. Never hate forever. A friend today can become an enemy tomorrow. Conversely, an enemy today can become a comrade tomorrow. Do not hate your enemy too deeply in the heat of emotion. Always leave room for reconciliation. Excessive vengeance ultimately destroys you as well. Polish yourself daily. No one is born perfect. A wise person grows by training themselves every day, while a foolish person remains stagnant by being content with who they are. Those who cease to grow will inevitably be left behind. Consistently honing your abilities is the surest path to success. Quit while you are winning. A seasoned gambler leaves the table when they are ahead. Excessive greed inevitably leads to disaster. Do not be fooled into thinking good luck will last forever. Even among the successful, those who know when to step back at the right time are the true victors. Seek advice and fill in what you lack. An ignorant person does not realize their own shortcomings, whereas a wise person knows their limitations and strives to improve. Asking for advice is never a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is a wise choice toward achieving greater success. Now you know how to influence the other person's psychology. Yet ultimately, how you use these strategies is up to you. Apply them with caution. The world will often wound you, jealous colleagues, treacherous friends, and those who hope you fail. But the most powerful revenge is not fighting back. Baltasar Gracián said, "The most perfect revenge is success." In other words, the moment you triumph, those who try to belittle you will suffer the greatest defeat. We are driven by an instinctive desire for revenge. When someone scorns or deceives us, we want to strike back immediately. But reacting emotionally only weakens your position. Instead, calmly make a plan and keep your eyes on your goals. When you continue to grow, improve, and succeed, those who once looked down on you will come to regret it. The best way to exact revenge through success is to upgrade yourself. Many people criticize or belittle others just to maintain their own standing. A true winner does not get caught up in such fights. Instead, they focus on developing their abilities and becoming a better person. As your achievements accumulate, those who once disparaged you shrink away, and ultimately, they will have no choice but to acknowledge you. One crucial point is not to dwell on the past when aiming for success. If your desire for revenge is too strong, it can cloud your judgment. You must pursue success not to get even, but to raise your own worth. Every choice you make should be for your future, not to settle old scores. Baltasar Gracián said, "People follow the successful and ridicule the fail." In the end, when you devote yourself solely to success, those who mocked you will fall silent. Rather than trying to prove something to them, build the life you want. Revenge will come naturally in that process. Also, when you succeed, you gain allies who walk the same path. Revenge goes beyond personal emotions. It can be a way of rallying those who support you. As you grow, you will attract people who matter far more than those who once dismissed you. By the time they realize who you have become, you will already be a step ahead. Therefore, do not be controlled by past wounds or anger. Instead, use them as motivation. If someone tries to discourage you, use that as a springboard to climb higher. The most perfect revenge is not mere retaliation, but becoming such a better version of yourself that no one can belittle you again. In the end, the best revenge is success. Rise above your past hurts and move steadily toward your goals. Eventually, those who try to hold you back will vanish, and you will stand stronger than ever. Our greatest threat does not come from some distant enemy. More often, it comes from those closest to us, who know us well and hold our weaknesses. Baltasar Gracián said, "The greatest danger hides in familiarity." Friends, colleagues, and even family may betray you when it suits their needs. So how can we avoid these dangers and see the enemies around us? Trust is vital in human relationships, but blind trust is dangerous. People act according to their self-interest, and their attitude changes as circumstances shift. Never forget that the person closest to you could someday become your greatest enemy. Therefore, do not freely divulge crucial information or expose your weaknesses. Information is the core of power. If you reveal your inner thoughts too easily, the other person holds the key to controlling you. This is especially true in the workplace or in social relationships. If you casually share your anxieties, worries, or future plans, others will look for the chance to use that information against you. Baltasar Gracián noted, "Those who reveal their cards too easily have no choice but to lose. Just because you trust someone does not mean they will trust you forever." People instinctively exploit each other's weaknesses. In any relationship, the most important thing is not to be read too easily. A person of few words who is careful about what they say remains surrounded by an aura of mystery, making them hard to manipulate. Conversely, those who wear their emotions on their sleeves are easy targets for manipulation. The point is not to suppress your emotions entirely, but to use them strategically. Sometimes, you must intentionally remain ambiguous so that others cannot predict you so easily. Observe the behavior of those who might pose a threat. Watch out for those who suddenly become overly kind, pry into your secrets, or only approach you when they need something. People change their attitudes according to what benefits them, and they stand ready to abandon you when it no longer serves them. That does not mean you must distrust everyone, but trust should be earned through proof. People who wish to undermine you are always around. They envy your success and hope you falter. Often, they attack indirectly rather than showing hostility outright, magnifying small mistakes or belittling your accomplishments. What matters is responding calmly, without being driven by emotion. Baltasar Gracián said, "The highest form of revenge is success. Focus on your goals, remain steadfast, and you will wield a powerful weapon. To maintain power, avoid unnecessary conflicts while protecting your position. Keep a suitable distance, letting people recognize your value. People covet what is hard to obtain and admire those who are not too easily approached. If you become overly familiar, others take you for granted. If you distance yourself too much, you lose influence. Balancing these is true wisdom." In the end, the most dangerous enemy often remains out of sight. Those who interfere with your success are more likely the people nearby, not some distant rival. Never lower your guard and manage your position strategically. Power does not come solely from words or image. To hold genuine influence, you must understand people's psychology and the dynamics of relationships. Skillfully leveraging physical, psychological, and structural factors in social connections is essential for maintaining long-term power. People always gather around whoever gives them what they need. Controlling resources is equivalent to holding power, whether those resources are money, information, or personal connections. In a company, those with vital information naturally gain influence, and in social relationships, those who provide valuable information become the focal point. Therefore, secure key resources and offer them selectively when necessary. People depend on those who cannot be easily replaced. In an organization, someone with a specialized skill is not easily substituted. For example, if you possess a certain technology or network, you become an indispensable presence within the organization. The same applies to personal relationships. Create value that only you can provide. Then, people will rely on you, and your influence will grow stronger. Those who hold true power often position themselves as coordinators rather than stepping in directly. In business, politics, or social gatherings, playing the role of mediator among various groups naturally places you at the center. People must rely on you to obtain what they want, and without you, they cannot easily solve problems. Whether in politics, business, or even casual meetups, by acting as a mediator, you gain power. Another essential aspect of maintaining power is regulating how much others rely on you. It is not about helping someone completely, but providing value gradually so they continue to need you. For instance, when offering a new opportunity, do not give everything at once. Offer a portion, so they will come back wanting more. This tactic works in both the workplace and personal relationships. If you give everything too easily, it becomes taken for granted. But if you offer it in limited measure, your value grows. A true power holder makes bold decisions, but is never reckless. They take risks yet always plan thoroughly. They do not leave outcomes to chance, but anticipate results and prepare contingencies before acting. Leadership demands a combination of prudence and decisiveness. When you spot a critical opportunity, you must seize it with both careful preparation and timely action. Do not try to monopolize victory from alliances. Many people seek to claim all the credit, but that can lead to disadvantage in the long run. A true leader constructs networks and forges common interests with those around them, acknowledging others' achievements while still steering the overall course. When people share in the credit and recognize your role as the coordinator, your influence becomes even greater. These elements are vital not just for momentary displays of power, but for maintaining it over time. Successful individuals all share one trait: they make decisions quickly. This is not merely a difference in personality, it is a result of strategic thinking. Baltasar Gracián said, "Opportunity vanishes the moment you hesitate." In other words, swift decision-making and immediate action are the keys to changing your life. People hesitate to make decisions, mostly out of fear of mistakes, fear of failure, or fear of judgment from others. But a true winner does not fear uncertainty. Instead, they view uncertainty as an opportunity, decide swiftly, and do not shy away from learning from failure. Those who aim for perfection often let too many chances slip by. Quick movers may stumble at times, but they are nimble enough to correct themselves immediately. Meanwhile, overthinkers only make their decisions after the opportunity is gone. Ultimately, speed makes all the difference. Successful people focus on the principle of selection and concentration. You can never know everything, so they pick the few critical factors, decide based on those, and act. The most important thing is to take action. Those who say one day end up doing nothing, but those who say now accomplish something. One way to accelerate your decision-making is to develop the habit of deciding quickly in minor matters. Some people dither over trivial choices, such as what to wear each morning or what to eat for lunch. By practicing speedy decision-making in these small areas, you become bolder with big decisions. Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg famously wore the same style of clothes all the time for this exact reason: to reduce unnecessary choices and focus on major decisions. Not fearing failure is also essential. Those who decide swiftly do not aim to avoid mistakes. Instead, they see mistakes as part of the process. This is not just a mindset, it is a key strategy for success. Fail. Learn from it immediately and sharpen your decision-making. Moreover, you must trust your intuition for critical decisions. Relying too much on analysis can lead to information overload and hesitation. In fact, many successful people combine logical analysis with intuition to make prompt judgments. The more experience you gain, the sharper your intuition becomes, enabling faster and more accurate decisions. Ultimately, the biggest risk in life is making no decisions at all. While you hesitate, opportunities disappear, and someone else takes your spot. Successful individuals understand the value of taking action, and do so the moment they decide. There is a vast difference between someone who plans only in their head and someone who actually moves. People with both decisiveness and the drive to act will create the life they desire. Opportunity belongs not to those who wait, but to those who pursue it. Making quick decisions and acting on them can certainly bring short-term success. However, a true winner knows how to sustain decisiveness and execution over the long haul. Maintaining long-term growth requires more than mere decisiveness. It requires turning decisiveness into a habit and continually refining it. To sustain decisiveness, setting clear goals is most important. When your vision is vague, you naturally falter when deciding. Conversely, someone with a clear vision makes instant choices without hesitation. If you want lasting success, set concrete objectives and cultivate the habit of acting swiftly toward them. Also, avoid information overload. Attempting to analyze too much data undermines your ability to act. Successful people quickly gather the core information and minimize pointless deliberation. Seek expert advice when necessary, but ultimately, you must judge and act on your own. Once you make a decision, you must also accept responsibility for it. The more you fear mistakes, the harder it becomes to decide. Yet successful people do not aim to avoid mistakes, they learn through them. If a decision proves wrong, they adjust immediately, using failure as an opportunity to grow. To maintain consistent execution, create a routine instead of leaving each day to chance. For instance, if you make it a habit to tackle crucial tasks first thing every morning, your day's plan will likely proceed more smoothly. Over time, these small habits add up to long-term success. Additionally, to boost execution, set up immediate rewards for your actions. Giving yourself a reward whenever you accomplish a minor goal helps maintain motivation. Successful people do not just aim for long-term goals, They know how to enjoy short-term victories along the way. In the end, decisiveness and execution are not just skills, but a way of life. You must develop the habit of making swift, accurate decisions every day, acting promptly and continually improving. Those who only plan in their heads cannot compare with those who truly move. People with decisiveness and the power to execute ultimately become the victors. They are the ones who shape the life they desire. Opportunity belongs not to those who wait, but to those who pursue it.